going to protect ourselves. We're designed to protect ourselves. We're designed to keep ourselves safe, even when we don't realize that's what's happening. And so in your numbness, you are keeping yourself safe. It's our body saying that we don't want to get hurt like this again. So we're going to cover up. We're going to protect. So how then does it show up in our lives?
Here we grow again. Our hearts on the mend. What I want is what I want. Soft space.
Hey, and welcome to Soft Spaces podcast, where I share a little bit of me to connect with a little bit of you so that we can build a community of wholeness together where our unmuted voices find freedom and healing in every area of our lives. Welcome to the Soft Space. My name is Yolanda Lewis, and I am your host. You know, we are so strong. We are so strong that we don't even realize it. We have survived our worst days. That's what makes you amazing. That's what makes us amazing as people. But sometimes, on the other side of that traumatic experience, we can get lost in the numbness of the experience. So yeah, you survived it. Yeah, you got through it. You may still remember it. You may not even be able to let it go, but you've chosen to move beyond it and are now stuck holding feelings of numbness. So what does that mean? Well, when we get into a space where we feel numb, we are in a survival state. We are in a survival state at this point. And part of that is really, really good that you have survived whatever it is, however long ago that you experienced something that made you look at the world differently, something that caused you to paint a different picture of your surroundings because of what you experienced. I've shared in other episodes the definition of trauma used by Dr. Gabriel Maté, and he says that trauma is not the thing that happened to us. It's not the thing that's happening to you, but it's how your body responds to the thing that happened to you, how it affected you, how it made you feel, how it made you look at life, how it changed your outlook about the measures of safety and security around you. So when we look at trauma from that lens, then we can also look at the survival piece of that and why we might be numb on the other side. When we look at numbness, it's our body's way to say, hey, something just happened, and while the rest of our members are not really ready to go there, to explore healing or to go there and figure out how to shake it off, we're going to protect ourselves. We're designed to protect ourselves. We're designed to keep ourselves safe, even when we don't realize that's what's happening. And so in your numbness, you are keeping yourself safe. That part is a good thing, right? It's our body saying that we don't want to get hurt like this again. So we're going to cover up. We're going to protect. So how then does it show up in our lives? Well, I'm going to give you 3 areas that you may not have considered that numbness is showing up in your life. I'll give you one example: procrastination. Procrastination is one of the ways that numbness shows up in our life. You might have thought that procrastination was just a lazy something, right? You're being lazy, or you defined it as lazy. Just you ain't getting it done, and so it's because of this lazy bones that you have. But procrastination can also be seen as an avoidance of having to deal with the emotion that's connected to confronting whatever the issue is. So for example, if you're at work You have a really hard project, it's a big project, and you like put it at the bottom of the list because you're going to do all these other shorter things that will help you to get done sooner and faster. You're going to do those first, right? We're going to prioritize, get those things out the way. Then when it's time to do that big project, now you need a smoke break. Now you need a lunch break. Now you need to go visit your friends in other cubicles or other offices. Now you need to check on your mom or check on your dad because they aren't feeling well. And so this reminds you of just something else to be doing. Does that sound familiar? Something else to be doing. Procrastination. Procrastination also shows up in the form of, let's say you're in a relationship and there's an issue that needs to be addressed. You know, they know it needs to be addressed. Doesn't matter the relationship, sisterhood, marriage, whatever it is, your partner, if you're dating, whatever it is, you do everything in your power to avoid the confrontation, to avoid having to tap into the emotion that's going to make you need to address whatever issue is at hand. Procrastination. Sound familiar? What about procrastination and the relationship with yourself? Where you do everything in your power to stay busy. Just so that you don't have to deal with this one set thing. And that can put us in a numb state where we're not dealing. Because when you're not dealing, you're not healing. And healing, the advent of healing, it takes a lot. It does take a lot. I am not saying that it should be easy. I am not saying that it shouldn't be easy. I am saying that it takes work. It takes effort. And knowing that it takes effort can sometimes be the turnoff of procrastination. Another way that numbness shows up in our life is through the overs. Not leftovers, but through the overs. And when I say through the overs, I mean overeating. That was my mechanism of choice in terms of numbing myself and keeping myself numb to survive the responsibilities that I had to take care of while I was not ready to address the stuff that needed to be taken care of inside of me. So I overate, and I've since lost 20 pounds. I almost said 40 pounds, but that's what I want to lose. I'm not there yet. I have a long way to go, but I feel wonderful because I am no longer numbing those parts of me. I'm no longer numbing my survival. No longer coping with my traumas, even ones that come up, scary things that come up. I'm not numbing it anymore with food, overeating. Another way is it comes up in the overs, is overworking. You just pick up more projects or you commit to things that you know good and darn well you don't have capacity for, you don't have time for, you don't have the energy for, but you commit because of other things. You want to people please, which is another way it comes up. But that's not an over. Matter of fact, let's segue right into it. Another way numbness shows up is through people pleasing, or what's called fawn, a fawn response, a trauma response, like flight, fight, freeze. Then there's fawn. Fawn is people pleasing. And so you will subject yourselves to situations that make everybody else happy just so that the focus is not on you. And listen, don't worry, that was me too. That was me too. I was a fawner big time. I want you to understand the simplicity of how it can show up, that numbness and that fawn response in our lives. So we've got the overs, overeating, over drinking, substance abuse, you name it. We've got the fawn, people pleasing, putting everybody else before the needs of your own. And we've got procrastination. Those are the three ways that numbness can show up in our life. So let me give you 3 ways that you can choose a healthier path to dealing and using coping mechanisms as a part of your journey. Because sometimes you may not be ready to deal. Sometimes it might not be the appropriate time. You might be out and about and just a flood of emotions come to you. What do you do in that moment to cope so that you can continue to move forward while also putting yourself in a space where you put a pin in it. You put a pin in it so you can deal with it later. Not totally procrastinating and ignoring it and staying in the numb space, but being aware that you know what, this is coming up. And so I'm going to use this healthier coping mechanism so I can get to the other side of this emotion. And then I'm going to deal with it. I'm not going to stay numb. I might have to move some things around in my schedule, but I'm not going to stay numb. I'm going to address it. I just might not be able to right now. Let me say this too. In that moment where your emotions are the greatest, give yourself 20 seconds. Choose 20 seconds. That's all it takes, 20 seconds to let the emotion just pass through. Just let it just process through. If you need to count to 20, give yourself 20 seconds. It will calm everything down, those nerves that are spiking up and going crazy. It will calm everything down so that you can make a choice of how you want to proceed next with a clearer mind. Not trying to make a decision with the fireworks of emotion going off in your nervous system, in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. Everything is at alarm and going crazy. Not in that moment. Give yourself 20 seconds. All right? That's a bonus tip. But let's get into the 3 that are going to help you to unnumb. The first one that's going to help you to unnumb is to do a body scan. Just really quickly scan your body. You don't, I'm doing it right now and you can't even see. No one has to know. You could do it at work, you could do it at the grocery store, you do it in the car. Scan your body. Literally take a moment to pause and say, okay, self, where's the emotion kicking up the most dust? Where is it in my body? Are my shoulders up? Am I stuck with my shoulders up? I'm going to put them down. Are my fists? I used to do this a lot. I used to even just sit resting with my fists closed. What are your hands doing? Are they trying to protect itself? What are your hands doing? Your feet, your lungs. Are you holding your breath? Body scan. Scan your body to see what is actually at unrest. What in your body is not resting? Are there tears flowing down your cheeks? Body scan. Number 2 is to give yourself a somatic hug. Hug yourself. Is one hand on your heart and the other on your belly. And you just hold yourself, just pull and hold yourself tight. So you can unnumb that moment. So you can support yourself in that moment. So you can hold yourself in that moment. Touch is the first language that we use as human beings. When you come out of the womb, somebody touched you. Touch. Touch. Use touch. Your hands, they're safe. Your hands are safe. And if they don't feel safe, that is something to be aware of too. That is something to pay attention to. If you cannot touch yourself and hug yourself, you want to explore that. But somatic hug is the way that you can unnumb. When the opposite of numbed is to feel. That is the objective in the somatic hug. The objective in the body scan is to allow yourself to feel. It's to allow yourself to say, no matter what the trauma was, that right now in this moment, I am safe. And because I am safe, My body is safe. My body is a safe place. It's safe for my hand to go on my arm and my belly. It's safe for my arms to wrap myself, my body, and hold my body. It's safe. Somatic hug. That's the second thing you can do. And the third thing you can do is shake it off. Animals actually do this when they are coming out of a moment of stress or danger. They literally like shake like a convulsion. They shake it off. And then they're able to, gallop away and live their best life. We can do the same. Shake it off. Sometimes you can put on music like I do. I put on music. Sometimes there isn't any music. It's the music in your head. You have to make a whole party in your head. Whole party. Party, party, party. That's the third way. These are tools I want you to use. Feeling numb even in this moment. You've been numb all year long. Guess what? It's time to feel. In this soft space, we're feeling. We're letting ourselves feel. That is the coping mechanism. To deal brings us to feeling, which brings us to healing. That's what we do in the soft space. It's okay. It's okay to let it go. You held it literally all year long. You might have been holding it for years. You haven't even realized. You haven't taken a deep breath in years. You haven't touched your own body since your last surgery. It's safe. This is the place. This is the opportunity. You can have a soft space even right where you are. Even right where you are, you can have a soft space that allows you to process how you feel without judgment. No one's going to come tell you, shut that noise up. No one is going to come and tell you to stop crying. That's enough. No one's going to tell you that. You can be free to express the emotion. You can be free to feel in this soft space. And finally, what we can do together is to breathe. As we enter into the final part of our episode, we always take a moment to breathe and practice breathing. So the way we do that is just through 2 breaths, just 2. We inhale, and once we inhale, we take one more inhale just to make sure that we are maximizing and filling up our beautiful lungs with as much air as possible. And then we release. And when we release, our shoulders drop to the floor. Our feet maybe even relax and drop to the floor if you're sitting. Or if you are standing, you can just feel yourself connect to the floor, to the ground. We're just dropping in, back into our bodies, and feeling, and letting ourselves be in the space where breath takes us there, to feel. When you are feeling and you release, your body may make a sound. If it wants to make a sound, let it. It's okay. Now, I welcome you into the soft space. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Let's begin. Deep breath in. One more breath. And exhale. Let's do it again. Deep breath in. One more breath. And exhale. If you feel like you'd like to take more breaths, please continue to do so. Don't stop. Let yourself release however long or however short you need to. And in the meantime, I want to thank you for watching this episode, for listening to this episode. I'm going to thank you for jamming with me on this first season of Soft Spaces podcast. Look out for season 2. Look out for soft circles coming soon near you. Check the description below for more information. And share this with a friend. Let them know that they are welcome into the soft space as well. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'll see you again real soon. Take care.